football at its absolute best.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
I love it, baby.
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! Got it by Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre, and Tennessee can say hello win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Thursday, June 29th. Let me get this graphic here fixed. It is the 29th, no matter what it says up here. Got it. Done. That was faster than normal. Welcome into another episode. It is episode 472. I am pumped because it's episode 472. We get closer to 500, and 500's happening. The hot tub's happening. That's what's happening.
It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait.
I get giddy thinking about it.
We've yet to plan anything on it, but
we've talked about it.
We're ideas guys. Time.
We're ideas guys. We
floated out plenty of time.
We actually do need to get on that, by the way, while we're talking about it, because we don't have that much time.
Yeah, but we do at the same time.
Correct. We don't have a lot of. Well, I guess there's portal talk. It's off season, baby. It's off season.
Yeah, we can just talk about whatever. That's the best thing about having your own show. You can talk about whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the corporate overlords are going to get onto us eventually about this, but good news, we're the corporate overlords. So, I mean, what we say goes. So it's nice.
Yeah, for sure. There is some talk. We usually make an outline, and we're at least going to hit on those topics at some point.
Yeah, and well, you're right. There is some stuff to talk about, but at the same time, there's really it's really not. There's there's substance in some of this stuff. I mean, even like recruiting, it's like that is again some substance, kind of like what we're talking about today. Dead period. Can't do anything now.
Yeah.
So what? I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do with my life. So that's what we're gonna do though. But I mean, we're gonna it's a Thursday, baby. Tomorrow's Friday. You might be listening to this on Friday. No matter what Grit tweets, tomorrow is Friday, or today, depending on when you're listening. Maybe you waited till Saturday. I don't know.
I hate that you're missing Friday afternoon golf with the boys tomorrow.
Yeah, dude, I do too, but I haven't packed anything. I'm kind of getting nervous. Things are my deadline's coming up to be packed.
You've been dead period pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. I have finally gotten. I had a load of laundry. A lot of those clothes I'm taking. Finally, I just folded those just before this show started. So
perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, we're moving in the right direction. I do hate I'm going to miss it. I need to bring you some balls and tees. You don't have to get secondhand tees anymore.
I got plenty of tees.
Yeah, but you don't need them, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
Sure.
So I'll try to remember to run those over before you head out the door. But yeah, Friday golf is definitely. When I get back, we're gonna just so much Friday golf.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
I mean, it's just going to be littered with golf. Friday is. I'm glad you got the bug. I'm glad it took I don't know 10 years to finally get you to play, but we've got it.
Yeah, we need to start looking for golf guys to join the show. Maybe Peter Balnati, Scott Stallings, maybe just get some golf guys on at some point.
I think we have to now. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna do so. Every podcast that I listen to has taken a development where the guys start playing golf and then it slowly turns into a golf podcast, and that's you're gonna get to watch it firsthand if you're watching the show now, where this just turns into us talking about golf.
Right.
So welcome into this.
Welcome into our golf talk.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun though, for sure. I mean, and listen, in the summer we can fill the voids with me and let's talk about golf because we meaninglessly talk about everything else. So it's how we do it.
So many hot dog reviews.
I mean, we're gonna have a guest on Sunday that we said we'd play golf with him, and we never did. Partially because Landon never played golf then.
Also, partially his fault as well, and I'm going to call around for that.
I mean, yes, that's why I didn't say totally your fault, but you got to hold some of the blame. You have to. Yeah, Pinehurst trip's gonna happen probably. I don't know. I'm broke. But eventually. Pinehurst, didn't the U.S. Open going back there? I don't know what year. I think it's going back there though. I think it's returning. I don't know how often I don't think it's like World Cup. They announce it 12 years in advance or anything, but it's happening for sure. Just take my word on it. Big J journalist right here. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna get into the show.
Yeah,
I guess we need to. Before we do that though, I do have to tell you guys about some of our good friends. I'm gonna tell you all about our friends at Underdog. Underdog is Knoxville's best sports collectible store with a wide selection of UT cards, autographs, and memorabilia. Whether you're looking for a Peyton Manning autographed helmet or the most recent Topps baseball card release, you'll find it at Underdog. The shop is owned by UT graduates and proudly supports UT sports by hosting NIL events throughout the year. Stop by the University Commons Shopping Center next to Publix and Domino's to check them out. They're open 6 days a week with live YouTube shows 3 nights per week. Remember, always bet on the Underdog. Shout out to Underdog Sports.
Love those guys.
Love them. Excited for their new location. It's coming.
Yep. Burns in the portal.
He's officially in the portal. I know,
official.
Which I know you've. I think every Vol fan's probably like this is. You compared it to a great one, Jalen Hurd, who is from the same high school. I think is why you compared him. But I mean, it's a great example. Like, why are you doing this? Which I guess at least Burns was a.
They're also 6'4". They have a lot of similarities.
I guess at least he was a starter before at one point. Jalen Hurd was never a tight end or a wide receiver. He didn't play tight end, wide receiver. So I guess that similarity doesn't track. But
if Chase Burns ends up in Texas, they'll both transfer to Texas. A lot of similarities.
Too many to name. I think we named them all, but too many to name. I do want to say this from what I gather from everything. And I don't know if this will make you mad, but from what I gather from everything, essentially this decision was made before Southern Miss, before Omaha, like all that. It was like, I'm not going to be a starter. All right, peace, I'm out kind of deal. Mm-hmm. So I do want to give credit to Chase Burns and say, thank you for just doing your job, taking care of business. Because he could have just pitched a fit, whined, not played, left the team altogether, like his comparison, and not taking care of business. He did. So if my understanding is correct that this all happened essentially when he was moved to the bullpen, credit to him for taking care of business. I'll say that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to give credit where credit was due. I mean, he was the most feared closer in college baseball.
Okay.
And
I like that title.
Knowing that, like knowing you have that title and still like, hey, I said I was going to transfer. I'm going to stick to my guns. I mean, I guess props to that. You're like, I said it, so now I got to do it.
Right.
I don't know. It's kind of like,
I still think it's weird. I still think it's like, I still don't quite understand the move. I'm just saying that and Tony kind of alluded to it. I think he was on WNML on Monday, that this is a long, like this wasn't decided this past week. This was kind of a long thing we knew was going to happen. Right. So again, from what all I'm outside looking in, no prior knowledge, outside looking in, I'm giving credit to the guy that still went out and took care of business.
Yeah.
He was a teammate. He was a good teammate. So.
Right. No, I agree with that. It still just doesn't make sense. And like, we tried to make sense of it on the last show, was saying like, oh, it's probably NIL money. Because that would be the only thing that would make sense. But like, you're leaving.
Sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, even that. Like, I mean, there's a graphic out today. Tennessee has the best NIL collective. So whatever.
Probably not for baseball though, from what I understand with LSU baseball. But yeah, I mean, total collective. Yeah. Shout out volunteer.
So yeah, it just does not make a whole lot of sense in terms of like, you want to be a starter, and I get that, but I also get like, this staff gave you every opportunity to be the Friday night starter, and you struggled a little bit. You kind of hit that freshman wall last year, and then Blade Tidwell came back from injury, so you're coming out of the bullpen, and then this year, like your ERA was 11. In SEC play. Like, no one in America, you're not playing for any Power 5 school in America with an ERA at 11. It's just facts. So,
yeah, right.
So I don't know exactly, like, maybe if he goes to TCU, I mean, I don't want to harp on this kid because I think he was a lot better than people give him credit for. But you look at Maui Ahuna, who came from the Big 12, he hit 400 and comes here and leads the team in strikeouts, but also hit 300. It wasn't like that bad.
Yeah, I saw someone commenting about him when the two we may have just gotten 2 portal guys at that point. And they're like, well, let's pump the actually I think it was just about one guy. Like, let's pump the brakes. We saw what happened with Maui. And like I'm not here to pretend Maui was everything that maybe we needed him to be and all, but like Maui was really good.
Yep.
He was really good in the field. Like you said, he did bat over 300. Obviously, you don't like to see your leadoff guy striking out so much, but he did bat over 300 at the end of the day.
Yeah. So I mean, so if he ends up in the Big 12, is that kind of thought of like it is a little bit? I don't want to say easier competition, but it is. I mean, you had 2 teams in the SEC play for a national championship. So I mean, that's
both of who you played in the regular season.
Yeah. So I mean, you're not going to see a Friday night guy that's probably going to be in the major leagues every conference series in the Big 12 like you would in the SEC. But I mean, I don't know, again, like 11, like you're not like you're not going to see the field. Even at like if you're knocking it down to 7. So I just don't get that aspect because they made the move for you to go to the bullpen, and then you got the title, which I think I'm remembering it correctly. It was the best closer in college baseball, or the most feared, or whatever. You're one of the best closers in college.
Most feared sounds cool, so yeah, we'll go with that.
But you didn't have anywhere close to that title when you were a starter. So I mean, that move saved your season. So that's why I just don't think. I mean, I guess there was just like a falling out, and I guess it was unrepairable at that point. But it's weird leaving an Omaha team because of a decision that ultimately saved
that
your
worked
season.
out. Yeah. But for both sides, like it worked out for
sure.
Chase Burns, obviously, and then worked out for the team. I
can't say
obviously you can't say with 100.
That's my thought. Is like
right.
I mean, Tony and Frank definitely don't regret it. I mean, it got them to Omaha. But does Chase Burns he has to understand that too?
Yes, we don't know what went all on behind the scenes. I'll say this with no actual knowledge, but apparently it was just essentially from my understanding, communication breakdown. Like someone on one side felt like the other side wasn't clear, is essentially kind of what is being said. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. Let's pretend it is, though. Like you said, can you not just go back and sit down and look and go, hey, it worked out? Like you said, whatever. It worked out. Let's move on past our differences. And for some reason, they couldn't do that, whichever side ultimately made the final decision that it was time to part ways. But yeah, it's a weird one, man. It's just, and I don't know. I don't think I'll ever make sense of it. Even if one side was to come out and say this is what happened point blank, or maybe even both sides came out point blank and said what happened. I don't think anybody can make sense of it. Yeah, I don't know. It's I think though for Tennessee, obviously you're going to miss a guy who was an All-American starter at one point, freshman All-American starter, was the best closer in college baseball at the end, got you to Omaha, 100% no doubt in my mind with that Southern Miss game. So yeah, and what I was going to say too is I don't know. We can't 100% say you weren't going to make it to Omaha if Chase Burns is a starter because we don't know if he figures it out, turns it around. But it certainly was not looking like you were going to make it to Omaha.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talked. I forget who we were talking to. Maybe yesterday is like that team. Looking at that team throughout the season, I would have bet on them against them $1 million that they weren't making it to Omaha, and they figured out. They kind of got that Rubik's cube and got it perfect, and it got them there, and that was a big part of that. What was Chase Burns going to the bullpen and Andrew Lindsay coming in? So,
and it's not just Chase Burns losing a starting position. If Chase Burns doesn't do what he did out of the bullpen, Tennessee probably does not make it to Omaha either. Like Chase Burns was a huge piece in doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, just weird. Again, I don't think it had much to do with NIL because I think they would have figured that out if that
Right.
was the case. Now, I do think that there may be some people in his ear that just aren't maybe the best. Maybe.
Okay. So you are going back to Jalen Hurd conspiracies here
Well,
or
I'm
comparisons.
more going at like an agent, I guess.
Right, but I mean, we don't know who it was necessarily with Hurd, but I mean, you essentially had someone in Hurd's ear telling him he's a power running back. They need to be running the I formation, all this stuff. But he transfers to play wide receiver. So whoever the person was, obviously couldn't make up their mind, anyways. What Jalen Hurd was.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess he kind of lost faith that he was going to be the Friday night starter, but going into next season,
I mean, if I was Frank and Tony, I don't know if I would certainly give that guy. I'd give Chase Burns a chance to be it. I don't know if I'd guarantee it because it's like, hey, look, dude, look what you just did for us. Look what you did as an individual coming out of the bullpen. Why would I guarantee take that away from you?
well, not.
It'd be like the beginning of this season if they said, hey, we don't know what you are. Let's start you in the bullpen and figure it out. No, the dude was a freshman All-American starter. He's a starter right now. It would be like doing that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in terms of like who's next. You lose Lindsey, you lose Dolander. It's Drew Beam. Drew Beam is your Friday night guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, which I guess
I mean, maybe they work it out. Which, I mean, either one of those guys could be a Friday night starter. But if Beam has been Mr. Consistency since he got on campus.
Yeah, I guess it's the Friday night was probably less up in the air. But as far as going back to being a starter, I mean, I don't know how you could say that's 100% out of question, but I certainly wouldn't guarantee it either.
Yeah.
If I were the coaching staff.
So, whatever. I've kind of calmed down a little bit because
Tony did you a favor?
Tony helped us out.
Brought the blood pressure down a bit.
I mean, I think Tony, even on the broadcast, he didn't sound like too thrilled. He was just like, yeah, he's no longer with the program. We wish him the best.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't necessarily blame him. I don't know why you'd be thrilled about losing anybody, but then it sounds like the situation just wasn't the best situation maybe for both parties at the time.
Yeah.
So maybe it was one of those things like, hey, let's just part ways now.
Maybe I'm kind of in the boat of I wish him well. I don't really wish him the best.
I wish him well, except if he goes within conference.
If he goes to Vanderbilt,
then you're. I mean, I hope you cry tears under the stadium while we celebrate and dance on your grave if you go to in conference, like my good friend Henry Toto. Good luck in the league, brother. Glad you cried under Neyland Stadium one last time. Felt good.
Still hasn't smoked a cigar. All right.
That's all I've got for Chase Burns. I'm good now.
Let's get into the transfer portal. So
don't go to Vanderbilt. I want to wish you well. Don't go to.
So that same night, great timing. You land a much needed catcher in Cannon Peebles. Also, all-time name for a catcher.
It is a good name. I'm not big about the last name, but the first name is parent. Listen, parents can't choose the last name necessarily. They get a say in the first name. They did good.
Yeah. Cannon. I mean, that's what you want. I mean, I can't believe he made it to NC State. I would recruit him just off his name.
I can't believe he's not a quarterback, honestly. I'm impressed he's playing baseball.
But yeah, they land a freshman All-American from NC State. Had I think 30 starts at DH, 9 starts at catcher. And basically the reason he entered the transfer portal, it wasn't like a Tommy White deal where he wanted to play third base, but he wasn't getting to, and so he entered the transfer. I mean, Tommy White just entered the transfer portal because he was one of the best players in the country, and somebody was going to offer him a lot more money. He was going to get at NC State.
And he was going to go, and not NC State made it to Omaha the year before Tommy, right? Or was it that year?
I think it was the year before.
Year before. That's what I thought. 2021. So, I mean, it's not like that program isn't great.
Yeah. But
also, when you find out you go to LSU.
But yeah, super bad luck on their part. Tommy White and then Cannon Peoples, probably two of their best hitters the past 2 years have gone on. But Cannon Peoples entered the transfer portal because I forget his name. I have it somewhere. Yeah, Jacob Cozart was NC State's catcher and was all ACC this past season, hit 10 home runs. So, and he's a year above Cannon Peoples. So I think he saw the writing on the wall that, like, hey, if I'm really going to make it, on somebody's draft board to get drafted the highest I can be drafted, I need to play catcher. I need to play my position.
Right.
So he enters the transfer portal, and Tennessee lands somebody that, they haven't. I mean, no offense to anybody else that's played the position at Tennessee the last couple of years, since probably Connor Pavoloni.
Since Pavoloni,
yeah. I mean, it's been a struggle at that position. That's been kind of your weak link, and they land a guy who's going to be in the middle of that lineup, or I guess he could be wherever. But
Right.
I think he'll be somewhere in the middle, because a switch hitter that's hitting 352 and 348 in ACC play, I mean that's going to play in the SEC.
Yeah, and I think kind of going back to your point about what Tennessee's had, I mean, credit to Evan Russell and what he was able to do at that position, but there were certainly some areas that maybe you'd like a true catcher, like, talking about what that's been, and then going back to this year, just trying to find guys that can do something at the plate. And so it's just like, it's been kind of going back to your Rubik's Cube point too, like finding the right formula or whatever to make it work. And I think this is obviously going to be really exciting. I think one thing that's going to be lacking, like talking to Connor Pavoloni is a great example. Talking about the leadership of the guys that were back there. So it seems like Tennessee's relied on whoever's back there to be a huge leader. I mean, any team does with a catcher, but you've got a transfer coming in. Obviously, can he fill that void? I think is going to be an interesting piece because Tennessee's leaned on that position so much. Evan Russell, I mean, number one, like just who the guy was in general, but also as a catcher. So yeah, I mean, that's a definitely a lot to ask of a sophomore that's coming into a new program. But I do kind of I have faith in the program, I guess is the right way to say that, because it seems like the catchers have always kind of been able to maybe play above themselves a little bit.
Yeah, and the transfers are coming into play. I mean, they're not coming in to sit. And, you look at last year with Zane Denton, Andrew Lindsey, Griffin Merritt, Maui Ahuna, all those guys played and played a huge role in Tennessee's success. I mean, he hit 50 RBIs, 12 homers. I mean, it's a kid who can swing it, and that was – I thought Cal Stark played extremely well, toward the back half of the season defensively.
Mm-hmm.
But he struggled a little bit with the bat, and I don't think I'm overstepping anything by saying that. I mean, it just was that bottom half of the order was kind of frustrating, and you're not getting days where you're getting multiple hits from him or Charlie Taylor. It was you might get a hit every now and then, but it was not a lot of production from that place in the order. And that's a place in the order like you need to have. And I thought Cal did a great job of competitive at bats, but it's sometimes you need to like break through and be able to hit one out. That was so big with Pavoloni is like he was at the bottom of the lineup, and Evan too, but like they could go yard at any moment too.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for dang Luke Lipsius.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be your all-time leading home run leader. I just said leader a bunch. Yeah. All-time
leader of leaders.
So I do want to comment this because this is insane. Did you see where Dylan Cruz finished his career with 75 game hit streak? He got on base every single game he played in this year. That is insane.
Yeah, I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah, for sure. I just like that. That is an insane stat.
Yeah.
Sorry to take away from Tennessee for a second. I remembered that, and that's stupid.
Did you see? So speaking of stupid, did you see the game of Cannon Peoples that he went 6 for 6 with 3 doubles and 2 home runs and 10 RBIs in a single game?
This, but can't even hit for the cycle. Huh?
Yeah, who needs a cycle when you're hitting them over the fence?
No, that is insane.
Yeah,
that's
stupid. And Tennessee needed that this year. I think that's a totally different team if you have that. Now defensively, you got to get it done too, and that's a huge.
But I mean, the back half of the season, you did. For the most part.
Yeah, just needed some help at the bottom of the lineup, and I don't even think like you're kind of hiding that position 9th in the order. You're not hiding a Cannon Peoples.
Right. For sure. I guess other guys on the portal.
Yeah, Nate Snead, landed him from Wichita State. He was a freshman last year. I think he was a All-Conference USA freshman team. Had 3 saves, 42 and 2/3, 15 earned runs in those 42 innings, and 53 Ks. So can light it up, can hit 100. This past season hit that, and going into an even better strength and conditioning program. Shout out Q. And then just getting to be coached by Frank Anderson, I think that velo is going to be even further. So you lose a guy that throws 102. I think at some point you'll see Nate Snead hit that 102 mark as well.
Okay, I like that take. I like that take. How often did he hit 100 this year? I know he did at least once.
I think a couple times. I don't think it was too many, but
he did it.
He did it.
Triple digits, baby.
It's only got to be once. You can hit it.
Facts.
But yeah, I think that's a big arm to get because you do lose a lot from you lose guys out of the bullpen like Halverson and Camden Sewell. You lost Jake Fitzgibbon. So you lost some guys in your bullpen that obviously Chase Burns. So this is a big arm that you can put in the bullpen. I don't know if he is starter capable as well, but I'm sure if that's something on the table, they'll look at that. Because I think right now it's Drew Beam, AJ Russell. There's kind of a AJ Causey from Jacksonville State. He transferred in, about a week or so ago. So yeah, I think there's some open spots there that people are gonna want to get. Xander Sechrist is back. So yeah, there's plenty of arms, and it was so weird because we had so many arms at the back half of the season that we didn't even use. We didn't have to, and part of that was Chase Burns just going as far as he did. But you really didn't have to use a lot of those arms, and maybe that's why some of those guys entered the transfer portal. But this team's going to be able to pitch with Frank Anderson intact. This team's going to be able to pitch.
Right. No, for sure. For sure. Anything else to add to baseball or transfers or anything before we kind of move on here?
Clemson infielder Billy Amick, I think, was on campus today for a visit. I think he hit 413, 13 home runs, 63 RBIs, I think. So, all ACC player that, I think would be a huge get for this team. And don't know exactly where he's going to play, but, find a place for him.
Yeah, if you're batting 413, yeah.
Good Lord.
We'll get you on there.
And then Luke Holman, the Alabama's Friday night starter, he's in the transfer portal. I think he's been in talks with Tennessee. So, and then
let's pump the brakes on him. His own coach bet against him. So
yeah, that's true. But Zane worked out pretty well.
Zane did work out good, and it was against LSU. We know for a fact. So I listen. Love all our guys. I think I might take that bet too, though. Just any given day.
Sean Fincham, shout out. He said White Evans will be back also. Yeah, so you got tons of arms.
Yeah, there's still a lot of guys returning, even factor out the transfers, and then the guys moving on.
And then you got Matthew Dallas, who's coming in. I think he's like 6'7" or 6'8", left-handed pitcher that could go in the draft. They're hoping to get him on campus, but if he, that's going to be a guy that could be in your rotation as well.
When is the MLB draft this year?
July 9th.
Cool. Let's call it that day. Are they going to have Tony V back on? That was
electric. Yeah.
Won't be as many guys going as last year, but I feel like you just got to have him back on if you can.
Yeah, just make it a yearly occurrence. I like that.
For sure. I have this weird feeling it's going to be Jay Johnson this year, and that's going to piss me off. But I kind of feel like you might have to.
July 9th is right. Thanks, Dylan. We did have a question at Hickman27. Josh says, I know he's going through the draft process, but what are the chances Halverson returns? I just don't see it. He's kind of an older guy, dealt with some injuries, so I just don't see him back. I think he'll get drafted pretty high in those first, 5 to 10 rounds, and he'll go.
Yeah, that would be if he returns, that would be a little shocking.
Yeah, it's just hard to get people back. Like, I mean, Cortland Lawson went. That was a guy like I for sure thought he'd be back, but didn't end up back. I mean, you lost pretty much everyone that even went through that process. So I just don't see Seth Halverson back, especially when he's able to hit triple digits too.
Right. All right. Any other questions? Anything else?
I don't.
All right, let's move on to football. It's
football season.
The sign didn't update. Don't look back there. There you go. But football season it's coming close, coming fast. I don't know, like September 2nd, sneaky close right now. It's June 29th. I know y'all are telling me to calm down, but you're gonna blink, and Joe Milton's gonna be throwing touchdowns in Nashville against Virginia.
A lot of them.
I hope 5, at least like 5 more than they.
Yeah, we were talking to some Virginia Tech fans yesterday, and they were Virginia Tech fans, so we got to take that with a grain of salt. But they're like, "Oh, guys, they're terrible. They're so bad."
Yeah, we were told not to worry about it because that's my trap game, and I think we talked about it. I think there's like creeping memories of opening against an ACC team, neutral site, and it was just not good at all. I will not compare Joe Milton to Jarrett Garantano.
Yeah, delete
still got 0 days. We already got it. We're good. I will not compare him to him, but it is a quote unquote. I guess he started before, or Jarrett had too, so no big deal. But yeah, this is it's just one of those things. And Virginia was so bad last year. It's kind of like our defense; like they can't get worse, right?
You would think. I'm kind of with you, but I'm also thinking like, hey, we have to get a win in Nashville because like we got to get a win to erase that Music City Bowl loss, and then we never go back there ever again.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. It's like you make your last shot before you leave the gym, kind of deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
you do that too.
It all the time. Last one, brick. Nope. One more.
Got to keep going.
One more.
I'm in the boat where I have to make 3 different shots before I can leave.
I like that.
Do a floater.
You had to make them in a row, or you just have to make them.
Make them. I usually do it like a step back mid range.
Okay.
I do a floater and then a 3-pointer, obviously.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna do you one better. 10 free throws before you can leave the gym in a row.
Oh.
Yeah. That was in my younger days, but 10 free throws before you can leave the gym.
I don't know if I can make 10 free throws right now.
Oh, no, not in a row. No. Not a chance.
I think I would shoot a better average than Shaq for sure. I'm trying to think of a Tennessee player that was really bad at
Urosh.
Definitely Urosh. Oh yeah, he's making 2 out of 10 for sure.
I mean, I used to there was a time in my life I could step up and probably I could probably get 9 for 10 if you ask me.
Which is so weird with Urosh because he's like eye level with the rim. Like when I had a Nerf goal, eye level with it, dude, I'm draining everything.
Did you take it down when you had to cut the net off? Or?
Yeah, it's not in here. It kind of rubbed the paint off my door, so I had to take it off.
All right, you just got to leave it on and leave it covered up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would. Make the last one in the gym, and then you peace out. And I'm with you. Leave Nashville forever, at least until the new stadium gets built. You never play another game in Nissan ever again in your life. Yeah, definitely sour taste there. It's but yeah, this like we were talking about like Virginia. I'm like that feels like a trappy game. I don't know if trap's right because it's the opener. You should that's all you should be prepping for.
But we've seen Joe Milton in the opener before, and it wasn't great.
Yeah, I mean 100%. And so it's just. I don't know. There's a little bit of fear there. It's an 11 a.m. start local. Don't like that. I don't. Yeah, it's just like it's weird. But that is not my most. I wouldn't call that most worrisome game. They brought up a good point. Landon talking about who we talking to yesterday. The Missouri game's positioning is interesting.
Yeah.
Like when he read off, I guess I didn't realize where it was at in the schedule. I was like,
I didn't realize who their new quarterback is.
Who's their new quarterback?
Jake Garcia.
No, I don't know. Jake Garcia from?
I think he went to Ohio State, and then he was at Miami. Was he at Miami?
Okay.
I think he's been a couple of places. I think he's doing that
Okay.
Tate Martell tour.
Okay. So now I'm less fearful.
But yeah, I've actually heard of him. So
okay,
maybe a little bit of
better than Virginia's quarterback, who I had never heard
of.
of.
That guy.
He transferred from Dartmouth. Is that right?
Monmouth.
Monmouth. Yeah, not Dartmouth. Sorry, Monmouth. We'll call it Monmouth. Kind of like that. But yeah, I do have a lot of faith in this season. We already have a question about win-loss prediction. So I feel like Tennessee wins 9 games this year. Is that crazy? Man, that's your floor. Sorry, I should say that. That's your floor.
Okay.
Is 9 games. I think Tennessee has the absolute. Tennessee has a really good chance of winning 10 games. You could convince me Tennessee wins 11, 12. This is all without a bowl game. This is all regular season. 12, I'm probably laughing in your face. You might be able to talk me into 11. I think 10 is very doable. I just feel like 9 is, when you read the schedule off, 9 is like you really should win 9 games.
Yeah, I want to see the first concern I have is like, do you beat Florida at the Swamp?
Yeah, I think Florida for me is more fearful than Missouri. So like I kind of
just
agree
because it's
like
at the Swamp,
Missouri,
though, right?
Because it's at the Swamp. Because it's at the Swamp. We talked about it. Tennessee hadn't won there since 2003. Iceman. I mean, that's the Gator killer. Sorry, Camden. I mean, that truly, Peyton Manning couldn't even win in the Swamp. So yeah, I mean, I think there's just like Florida has some concern on it because it's at the Swamp. It's a 7 p.m. game. It's going to be a great environment. Can't wait. If you beat Florida, I think you kind of have to win 9 games.
I'm with that. I think if you beat Florida, it's absolute 9 games your floor.
Yeah.
Because then you got Georgia, Alabama, A&M.
I mean, we have to say South Carolina. I hope it's an absolute slaughter, but after last year, kind of have to.
Man, there are some like tough games now.
Yeah, and then you get Kentucky at Kentucky, and that's in it's not quite November, but almost November, so it'll probably be freezing rain. Yeah, I don't think. I still think this team. I think the good news is you did lose a lot. You also kept quite a bit too. You keep Drew McCoy, you keep Ramel Keaton, you keep Squirrel White, who played quite a bit throughout the season, bowl game. You keep your running backs, and that's big. And then you get a guy on Joe Milton who's seasoned, like he has played at Tennessee, and we've seen a little bit of his progression. I hope we haven't seen all of it, but we've seen a little bit of his progression throughout the season in garbage time, which you have to remember it's garbage time, but then goes and does it against Clemson. So you keep a lot of that. You return a lot of your important guys on defense, mainly Aaron Beasley, your leader, your anchor. So that's huge.
And you have guys on the edge to replace Byron Young too. I think that's huge.
Yeah, for sure. So I think I still feel like the A&M game. Obviously, they're super talented. They're going to have a crap ton of talent on that field, but I feel very good about the coaching staff that Tennessee has right now, and then plus the reasons I just named off.
Yeah, I have some more questions here. It's like tight ends, can they hold up? Not pretty thin at that position. So that's kind of because it is such a big part in this offense, and maybe Princeton Fant made it that way because he was so versatile. But I do think that's a huge part because you need them blocking. You also don't sub a lot, so you'll need them to run routes on the outside as well. So that position is huge for me. I'm interested to see who really takes the reins of that because, I mean, Jacob Warren's had, he's your veteran in the room. McCollum Castles is apparently his NFL teams looking at him. I don't really understand what that means, but I'm for it. Yeah, sure.
His name's on a board somewhere.
Sure.
That's what that means.
And then you have Ethan Davis, who was probably your best offensive player in that spring game, minus
Gaston
Moore,
baby.
yeah. I want to say Grayson Moore. He's not a Grayson.
No,
I
it's
can't put that
Gaston,
on.
baby.
Yeah. That's an interesting position to watch. And then, can the secondary just be better, please?
Right. I mean, I think that's my biggest question is not even just, defense as a whole, but yeah, secondary. And we talked about this a little bit. I can't remember if it was Sunday or last Thursday. You got to find a way to take the ball away. You have to. And that's really what I want to see out of this. Find someone who can go get the football at some point.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge kind of step on your throat moment. Is this team's able to score so fast and then get a takeaway and score real fast again? I mean, you blink and you're down 14. Like it's a 14-point swing,
and then it turns into an absolute slaughter. If you don't believe me, watch Kentucky.
Yeah, that's all.
I mean, I look at their first drive and what you thought that game was about to be, and then just watch the rest and enjoy and laugh and carry on and have a great time.
Yeah. Also, my other question is can Joe Milton just be half of the hype he's getting?
Yeah, someone's already said in the comments he's got him
top 7 in the Heisman.
Top 7. So, I mean, if we can have a top 7 season out of Joe Milton,
feeling good.
You might have just talked me into 12 wins. You might have. I don't know. I think Joe Milton's a little bit of a question mark. Not as much after that Clemson game. If he hadn't played against Clemson, if Hendon Hooker had stayed healthy, I'd probably have more questions just because of when we saw him. Yeah. But since we did get to watch him play against Clemson, like I said, you've seen some of that progression. Not as many questions around Joe Milton.
Yeah. Well, what did the transfers look like too? I mean,
yeah,
that's a huge part. Omar Norman Law, defensive line. You got Keenan Peely at the linebacker position. Gabe Judy Lally at the defensive back position. John Campbell at offensive tackle, which is probably the biggest one in that group. What do they look like? Can they have a huge role in this team? Because again, it's kind of like the same with baseball. These transfers come into play.
And the ones you named, you kind of need to play right now.
It's like you brought those guys in to fill positions. Andre Kuric is another one inside offensive lineman. But, yeah, you brought those guys in to play and help this team kind of get to where they need to be. You didn't bring those guys in as depth pieces. I mean, maybe Omar Norman Lott, but could you have a lot of bodies at that defensive tackle position?
Yeah, and that's a guy that, like you said, if he doesn't start, he's going to play. Right. Or you want him to play. Yeah. Yep. Kind of going back to tight ends too. I mean, maybe the lack of tight end. Maybe we finally get our dream of seeing
4 wide receivers.
4 wide receivers.
Will we ever play 4 wide receivers?
5 wide. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Someone brought up a good point a while back when we were talking about it. They're like, well, I mean, there's just not – you can't sub often on here in this offense. I'm like, no, I definitely see what you're saying, and I agree. But, maybe a down you're going to have to sub, or maybe you just know you're going to score a touchdown.
Yeah. Maybe
do it. I'd love to see it. Let's see what happens. Let's get crazy with it.
Yeah, and as big as freaking Dante Thornton is, I mean, it's like having a freaking tight end. He's like 6'5".
Listen, I know Brew plays on the outside. Put him on the inside one time if you need him to block. He's gonna hit somebody.
Yeah, he's physical as they come. Yeah, I'm interested to see that because who is the odd man out if you just play those 3 positions or those 3 wide receivers like you did last year and the year before that?
Yeah,
is it Squirrel?
Mel Keaton made a really good case for him.
Yeah,
this year.
I mean,
Squirrel made a real good case for him. Right now, I'd be betting Dante Thornton just because we haven't seen him in orange yet. Oh, I know. I'm aware. I'm just saying,
I'm with you, but it's, a 6'5" guy that can run a 4.4. How do you keep him on the sideline?
Yep.
But yeah, Squirrel and Ramel, I mean, they kind of did a lot for you last year. So, yeah, I'm interested to see that. I'd like to see them switch out wide receivers. But how often do they do it? Who's switching? I got to think Brew McCoy is on the field the majority of the time, but apparently they like Caleb Webb, Chaz Nimrod. You got some Nathan Laycock. I mean, there's other people behind him.
We thought 2021 was you're not rotating because you just don't have a ton behind them. Last year you had a ton behind them. They didn't rotate. I shouldn't say didn't rotate. It wasn't. They weren't rotating for rotating's sake. They weren't bringing in different guys for different packages or subbing all three, anything like that. Obviously, you see Ramel Keaton come in when Cedric Tillman goes down. You saw a healthy amount of Squirrel White, but it's not consistent. And so I don't know what that looks like.
I mean,
they obviously are going to run with they're running with them. Until they can't.
Is it one of those things where, hey, come to Tennessee, play wide receiver. If you crack the starting 4, you're going to score a lot of touchdowns here. If not, you're not going to play and probably enter the transfer portal in a year. So,
right.
Which, whatever. If you're getting a Blitnikoff winner, I'm cool with that. I don't care how many.
Yeah, I would love to have that again.
I don't care how many people go in the transfer portal.
Who's got 5 in them against? Who's our five guy for Alabama? Third Saturday in October. Who's scoring 5 touchdowns? That's what I want to know. That's all I care about.
Man. I don't know. I would love to just like the name Squirrel just scoring 5 touchdowns again.
Well, I mean, and just like speed wise, like I see him kind of. I don't know. I see him getting behind guys more often. That means more chances to score.
I think it could be Dante Thornton though.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Whoever it is, I don't care. It could be.
That can be your 5.
It could be Jabari Small. I really don't care who it is.
Give me 5 that day. That's all I ask. If Jabari Small scored 5 rushing touchdowns against Alabama, if he scored 5 touchdowns in one game, I would laugh my ass off at everyone that talks about this offense and just what it is.
Well, you bring up a great point of against Alabama because like everybody thinks of like the touchdowns from Jalen Hyatt, rightfully so.
Yeah,
but Tennessee also averaged 5 yards per carry in that game. That was huge.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, we're an air raid. Allegedly.
We're swinging our sword, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else for football really to add on to. I'm pretty excited.
We're going to see a lot of Elijah Simmons.
Season. I mean,
if not, can we at least like have him sing the national anthem or something?
Yes, we can. I would love nothing more than that.
I mean, good Lord. Just have him sing Friends in Low Places at the end of the third quarter.
Dude, I've heard people saying that we need to get rid of that song. Listen, it's so good. And it's like, it came naturally. They started playing it as I guess like a promo for Garth, essentially. That was the year he was coming to Neyland. And everyone just did it. And now it's become, so I love traditions that happen naturally, not like Butch Jones, where he taught us the cheers.
God.
Looking back, that was an awesome spring game. I would love to see a recording of it. Or was that a practice when he did that? An open practice? Which one was it?
I remember them doing the
he's trying to teach us the first down when he's on the mic.
Circle of Life.
Yeah, that wasn't the cheer. He tried to like teach us cheers there for like the first down. I don't remember how third down for what came about. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with third down for what. It wasn't Butch's idea, no matter how much he tells you, kind of like Checker Neyland. But yeah, I heard people trying to get rid of that. I was like, that's such a, listen, Garth can say whatever he wants. It's about a song. It's about Neyland Stadium. It's about the people that go there. Those are my rowdy friends. Those are my, yeah. I mean, I'm a different animal when I get inside those walls. Mm-hmm. And so are you, no matter, you don't have to admit it, but you are.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we were talking about today. Like I can't even imagine what I'm like if we win a national championship because I was on cloud 9 times 1,000 when we beat Alabama. If we win a game that's more meaningful than that,
yeah,
I mean, bury me. I'm dead. I'm good. I lived a life that I was.
Yeah, you can at my funeral. You can say he lived. You know, he ran the race kind of deal. You can say all that cliche stuff. What did I just say?
Khalid.
Not when you were down 21 and still playing it. I mean, yeah, fair. It doesn't have the same pizzazz. I mean, totally fair. But we're not talking about that because we're not going to be down by 21 anymore going into the
I mean,
fourth
we
quarter.
are in
Those
low
times are
places
past.
if we're down 21.
Yes. Yeah, definitely maybe whoever's operating the song maybe have a, I would love for Tom Petty to just sound like absolute rip in peace, to sound like absolute trash come September because we're just beating their brains in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think it's a great tradition and it needs to stay. I don't like Garth Brooks. As a human being, he just doesn't look cool. But he has some great songs. Friends in Low Places, for example. Call him Baton Rouge.
I just don't like how
that was awesome.
Like, why can't I just like openly like listen to him?
You got to listen to the covers on Spotify.
Yeah, or like
they kind of still slap.
Live versions on YouTube. It's like, come on, Garth.
Yeah, no. So I love Friends in Low Places. It's a great song.
Yeah, and if we're down 21
it's gonna be on our album
with this offense, that's not as much as like Jeremy Pruitt.
3 plays.
Yeah, Jeremy Pruitt. We're down 21. It felt like we were
that's
down
7 possessions.
Yeah, I felt like we were down 100.
No, I'm definitely with you, Notorious Vol. Read the Room for sure. 100% read the room. But yeah, no, it's the people that say get it out of here. No, and I think too. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, play Copperhead Road." Copperhead Road, absolute banger. It's not a third quarter to fourth quarter song. It's not, because what do you do when the song ends? You're all fired up, and then you got to wait 6 more minutes for the Red Hat to get off the field. What are we doing?
Yeah,
you built up all that energy for nothing.
I think
it's like doing cocaine before going to a funeral. Like, what are you?
A lot of people want it to be like a hype song, and like I kind of get that, but at the same time, it's like if you're not hyped to play in this stadium, like going into the fourth quarter, I don't know what else I can do for you.
I don't know if Copperhead Road is a hype song you play. Like people want it to be a third. It's not a third down song either.
Yeah, and like if you play Copperhead Road, I'm gonna have to line dance. I'm gonna knock people down in the process, so that's probably not healthy to do that.
Copperhead Road's a banger, but kind of like Read the Room, like that's not it. It's not it. That might be like a coming out of halftime song. Like, you're finishing up the hot dog, putting the drink and food back under you and get you a little, get the juices flowing a little early kind of deal. Because for some reason we have 20-minute halftimes and the band doesn't even take up like 10 minutes of that.
I think for the Nashville game we played Broadway Girls by Morgan Wallen and Lil Durk. I mean, that's a banger.
I'm not going to Broadway.
We already said we're going
to the hot dogs. Except for the hot dogs.
Notorious Vol said Sweet Carolina is a good crowd getter.
It is sweet. What? Sweet Carolina's it is.
The Red Sox play, that's why I hate it.
I was about to say it's already been adopted by a team. We can't do it.
Yeah, good.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
It might be a good third down song or third quarter song then, Joey. Yeah. Really get you amped. Just hit whatever's in front of you. Technically they are children. We heard that all the time. They're just kids.
Dude, I think like Osborne Brothers Rocky Top, I feel like we could play that.
I mean, I'm always down for some Osborne Brothers Rocky Top. Like, don't.
I mean, that's name a bigger banger than that. Can't. It's impossible.
I don't.
R.I.P.
No.
To what was his first name?
I don't know where you're going with this. So, I mean, I know where you're going with it, but
yeah, dude. I mean, you can't.
I was talking to, was I telling you that story about us in Asheville? Dylan was with me. And I just you can't, Rocky Top's a song I never just sing a verse of. And we were at a bar in Asheville and the band was playing Rocky Top. And I guess we were singing along or we had Tennessee stuff on. I don't know. And they're like, what's the next verse? What's the next verse? And I was like, and I just had to sing the whole song over again to get to the next verse. I was like, I mean, I can't just
stop
you at the verse. Right. Like, I just got to go, baby. So,
Bobby Osborne passed away.
Okay. When was that? I feel like that was somewhere.
I think it was today.
Today?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I haven't been on
Twitter. Last night.
I missed all this.
Or this morning.
Internet.
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Rip in peace, man.
Yeah.
I feel like we should play that solemnly then.
Yeah. You're just blasting out to it, which I enjoy, and
I think he would appreciate
I'm
it,
sure
honestly.
he enjoyed it too. But yeah, RIP.
Dang, that sucks. All right, well, thank you
So
for
maybe
giving
we
us
do it
absolute
in
heater.
remembrance of Bobby Osborne.
You want me to play it again?
Gotcha.
One moment, please. Do we start over or just hit play
Just
from
hit play. We're good.
Top man?
This is definitely getting taken off YouTube too. Hard to beat. Oh, dude, you got the shakers? I don't have anything. This makes me just want to take my shirt off.
Woo! There's a dog outside barking now after I just wooed.
Woke him up.
Yeah. God, that song gets me just going. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight now. The energy, what's the word? You know what I'm going
Energy
with.
vampire.
No, we don't have those in this house. No. I do still have my shakers from the Alabama game. I got to find somewhere for them. And I'm retiring my hat. It's going to go. That looks weird. We'll fix that later. But yeah, so. God, such a good song.
Such a good song. What else we got? We got anything else for football? What freshmen contribute, in your opinion? You think any?
Contribute.
I think we're a lot better depth-wise, where we don't need freshmen to really contribute. But do you think any contribute, in your opinion?
I'm trying to think. The problem is I feel like I've said this before, and so I don't know who I said. That's what I'm kind of going back to.
I think Ethan Davis.
Yeah,
you know the way he played.
Yeah, got to.
Yeah,
you talked about being thin there too.
Right.
I
think a lot of people played special teams, but
right
in terms of like being a part of like the actual game plan, I guess.
Probably not many that are going to be there weekly.
Maybe David Hobbs at some point gets along that defensive front. Maybe Arian Carter play some linebacker.
He's an interesting one. It's crazy that his story is just always going to kind of blow my mind.
Just not letting Alabama in.
Well, that too, but like how he got moved.
Oh yeah, he was a running back committed to Memphis.
Ends up being a 4-star. I mean,
yep,
just crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll go with those. We're good. Moving on. Tobe continues to dominate. Continues.
He's
go USA.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, racking it up. 4 games in the FIBA tournament. I think it's in Hungary. But yeah, rolling. He's averaging a double-double right now. I think he leads the entire tournament in rebounds per game with 10 and offensive rebounds with 5 per game. So yeah, he's lighting it up, and he's got a little bit of offensive game going on too. I think that's a big development for him. And that was a big thing for Tennessee last year. Is like we couldn't get anybody in the post to give us something offensively.
Right.
So I think that's going to be huge for Tobe Awaka. You thought it would be Olivier last year, and it just wasn't.
Right.
And until he played Duke.
Yeah, I mean, I think we still don't understand, not really seeing Tobe against FAU, just who he was. But I mean, I guess Rick Barnes has to live with that decision too, so that makes me feel a little bit better, I guess.
Wait, say that again?
Not seeing Tobe against FAU. That hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, he's lighting it up, and I think he's only averaging like 18 minutes per game. So to be averaging a double-double, wow. I think that's pretty huge.
Did not realize he wasn't playing that's still a good amount of time, but not that much compared to the stats he's putting up.
Yeah, and had 15 points and 14 rebounds against China in their last game. So I think they're on to the quarterfinals in the tournament. I'm not sure who they take on, but yeah, he's I think that's big for Tennessee to see him kind of develop into, more of an offensive player as well. I mean, obviously you saw the rebounds and everything like that. He was able to get his freshman season, but for him to take that next step, and I think, how do you not start him? I mean, obviously, I guess you want to see some production, but how do you not?
I mean, I think there's going to be, we've talked about it a little bit, the starting lineup is going to be a little interesting for Tennessee and kind of how they do that. I mean, Tobe Walker's got a good opportunity as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's kind of all I got for him. Do you have anything else?
No.
Tobe? Just love him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big Tobe Walker fan, president of the fan club.
Who's your fan question here? Who's your 2024 Tennessee baseball breakout player?
Breakout player. I feel like it's going to be like Quarius Tears or Dylan Drawling, somebody who like kind of showed something. Now is going to get a chance to probably be in the starting lineup.
Yeah. We asked the question on Twitter today, and some people put Logan Chambers, and then he entered the transfer portal shortly after.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe not at Tennessee, maybe somewhere else. Yeah, I feel like those are probably, I guess, maybe the easy ones because we've seen something from them. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Maybe you have someone else in mind.
Yeah, I think those two are big. I think Reese Chapman is another guy that they would love to have in the outfield. Had a pretty, had limited at bats, but looked pretty good in doing it. I think AJ Russell is up there for me. I mean, just stud.
Right.
I mean, you just saw the way he was able to kind of make Dylan Cruz look stupid in that final game. I think he struck him out on 4 pitches. And then Wyatt Evans. He's another guy that you didn't really get to see a lot of last year, didn't get to see a lot of this year due to injury. And he's a big lefty that, they'd really like to have in that bullpen and, could possibly be a starter down the road.
Yeah. I like that.
I'm trying to think of some more. I think Jake Kendra is another one. He had a really good freshman season, when he got to play in limited action. And I think will be a stud down the road.
I like that.
Yep. All right. Well,
Stupidities?
Joe, you want to get in here? It's been a minute. I haven't seen you in a while.
I'll go real quick. I've just got one. Someone did a redesigning each SEC logo using AI. So I guess this is a stupidity on AI. LSU and Auburn, they're just the same tiger with different colors and slightly different angle. Ole Miss's. It's an interesting fella. See if you can see that there, Landon.
Oh,
that's Ole Miss's. Yeah, a little racist, but we'll go beyond that. Honestly, Vanderbilt's, I don't know what's up with the going on inside, but way better than what they've got now. So you can see Vanderbilt's there, Landon.
I thought Georgia's looked so stupid.
Georgia's is bad. I don't really know what they're going for. Kentucky's is terrible. Florida's looks like if the Boise State decided to be called the Dinosaurs. That's what Florida's is. Kentucky's is just terribly dumb. Oklahoma's looks like Ohio State. Missouri, also Auburn and LSU. Honestly, I'm kind of into the Hogs.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Which brings me to my next point. Tennessee's is just Colonel Reb in a Tennessee hat.
Yeah, I didn't really love Tennessee's.
A&M's, I don't know what that's all about, but I feel like they would actually that actually looks like an A&M logo, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. The worst one though, this is where the stupidity truly. What is Shane Beamer getting into down in South Carolina?
Yeah.
You guys keep him away from the live mascot, okay? Because that's That's bad.
Yeah, I don't understand why they had to make it like that.
Is the tree coming out of the cock, or is the cock coming out of the tree?
Whoa. That's a lot.
Or is the tree going into the cock?
That's a lot to unpack. It just looks like the tree is holding up the cock.
By its anus.
Correct.
Okay. And then just to maybe calm things down a little bit, Longhorns, I think, fits really well. If Steve Sarkisian was still an alcoholic, this looks like an alcoholic Longhorn.
I do like that. That looks pretty cool.
You like that he looks drunk?
Yeah.
Okay. I think he does.
Oklahoma's looks stupid, doesn't it? I feel like I remember.
Yeah, it just looks like Ohio State's, just not Ohio State's. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the do you remember that game? What is it? The League? Blitz the League.
Blitz League. NFL Blitz?
It was like it had like Lawrence Taylor, like you can make your own. Like there was like a bunch of created teams basically in there. It looks like every created team that was named like the Outlaws. That's what that.
Yeah, it does. Good news, AI ain't taking over anytime soon. That was atrocious showing from AI.
Yeah. Well, we've seen worse from AI.
I hope someone's joking. Someone posted the Tennessee one, so would love to see you on an alternate helmet next season. It says good new look, but keeps the traditional look. What's traditional about Tennessee's? It's not even the Power T. It's I don't.
Ours looks like the Oklahoma State mascot head.
Yeah. Pistol Pete.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy's trolling. I respect that if he is. Yeah, I think he is. Okay, cool. Love it. Good stuff. All right.
Mine's recruiting, and I don't want to throw shade at some kids, but
just do it. You're gonna do it. Just
in this instance, it's like this kid, like he's obviously committing to Clemson. He's got like 8 crystal balls at Clemson. Everybody knows he's going there, and he puts on the Tennessee hat and like unzips his shirt, and it's a Tennessee shirt. Then he throws the hat down and takes off his shirt, and there's a Clemson shirt. It's just like. First of all, no one knew who you were, like Tennessee-wise. Maybe Clemson did. I mean, he was a 4-star, but like anybody that follows recruiting like knows nothing about this kid in regards to like his relationship with Tennessee. So I feel like if you had like 2 teams that you're maybe visiting and in on and then pick, but to basically like already have like the favorite be Clemson and then kind of do that, I just think it's very
well. And I want to know, was the whole thing staged? Because it's uncomfortably quiet when he gets the Tennessee hat. So like, was everybody in on the joke?
No one knew. Like no one. Like I guess everybody knew because they're like, okay, this isn't it.
Right. That's why I don't know what was happening in that.
Yeah. Very strange.
That's all I've got for stupidities.
I thought we were kind of past that.
Yeah, I really did too. Honestly.
Yeah.
Whatever. You got any more?
No, that's all I got.
Dylan, Joey, any stupidities to round out our week?
I do want to mention, just for like a most important, perfect game last night.
Yeah, okay,
Yankees.
Go ahead. Yeah, we'll let you mention that.
Sorry.
I did see a TikTok today. No clue if it's true. Apparently, the Yankees have won a World Series every year. Someone from the Yankees has pitched a perfect game. So get your bets in.
Hell yeah. I like that. I'm going to put in a bet today. Yeah.
I mean, they're like 9 games back in their division, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. Aaron Judge is hurt, though. When he gets back, it's over.
It's just June, baby. It's not even All-Star
Domingo Herman pitched perfect game, 9 strikeouts. Obviously, 9 innings pitched, 27 straight retired.
It's pretty crazy, just non-strikeouts in a perfect game. Like, we casually see Drew Beam do that every week.
Perfect game?
Non-strikeouts. that man is pretty much the poster child for Case for Queso.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just a lot of ground balls, a lot of pop flies.
Love it.
His
His goal is to throw 27 pitches in that game. That was what he was trying to do.
He only threw 99, which is really impressive too.
Yeah, honestly.
So yeah, really cool. And I mean, he's not even like he's like second or third like best pitcher for the Yankees. So it's just crazy. Like it was on the A's, which the A's freaking suck.
I mean, that isn't like you think they're just they're not tanking just to like get a draft. They are tanking just to tank because they're ready to get out of Oakland.
Yeah. Poor A's.
Joey,
you love the A's? You're a big A's fan?
Yeah, dude, the A's fans were hyped last night. They were like more excited than they were. I saw a video of the crowd. They were getting rowdy.
Was it in Oakland?
Yeah, it's in.
Oakland. So they were like
dude,
there were maybe 3,000 people there getting hyped.
Yeah, I mean it was basically like a little bit behind home plate, down the left base line a little bit. It wasn't awful. I mean not awful as in like maybe 2,000, 3,000 people, but. I mean, they were hype. I mean, I guess
what a way to keep people in the seats. You're like, oh, we're getting blown out, but at least there's a perfect game going on. I'm going to stay and watch it.
That's got to be the cooler thing that's happened in the past 5 years for the A's.
I mean, just imagine like being down by so many runs that you're just cheering for your own players to get out.
It really is I don't know. Like if you're that bad, I would have been excited.
Yeah, you want to go home and talk about something.
Oh yeah, we're tanking for Dylan Cruz.
Yeah. I was gonna run through this debate really quick. Have you seen the whole like Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk fight? I guess.
Yeah.
It's getting happening.
It's getting in depth. I don't know. I can't decide if it's a stupidity that's happening, but I also like know it's $100 for pay-per-view. I think is what they were talking about, which it's for charity clearly.
Couldn't they just give?
I don't know. I'm
own money though.
I'll illegally stream it, but for like, I don't know. Like, I can't decide if it's stupid that they keep doing these things, but at the same time, like, I 1,000% would watch if it was on. Like, if it was happening, I'm gonna watch that.
Well,
yeah, I'm probably with you, but I'm not paying $100 for it.
I don't know, dude. I mean, Musk is way bigger, but he's older, and Zuck is like a martial arts fighter. He's like competing in things.
Oh, really?
He like won a tournament like a week or two ago.
Elon Musk looks way more like a pussy to me than Mark Zuckerberg. Like Mark Zuckerberg, you tell me he does martial arts, that doesn't surprise me. Like I could see him being a part of the gym for years.
Well,
Elon Musk looks like a pussy.
I feel like Zuck. I love that we're giving him a nickname. Number one, but I feel like he's like a Tony Stark. Like he probably has there's like a suit underneath like his skin.
I think you're giving Elon Musk too much credit.
No,
yeah,
Zuck. You think Zuck's that way? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm with that.
I don't think there's a single way. Zuck won the gold medal in the Nogi Master 1 white belt featherweight division.
White belt? What is white belt? Isn't that the first one you get?
What did you just say? I feel like I have that same gold medal.
Nogi Master 1 white belt featherweight division championship for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I don't know. I don't follow up on Jiu-Jitsu. Anyone silver medal in the GI Master 2 white belt featherweight division.
Yeah. Can you say that it was a Yogi or
Nogi Master?
Nogi Master.
It was in Silicon Valley, so maybe these were
Does
just.
He call himself Nogi Master? Because that would be pretty cool.
That would be cool. Nogi Master versus whatever Musk would be. Oh, and then I saw literally like 5 minutes ago that who was it? Andrew Tate is supposed to like be training Elon Musk for the fight. So like
Andrew Tate in jail?
Yeah, I thought he was in prison.
He just got released, I think. Like,
oh, did he? Wasn't he in like a
yeah, he had like
Romanian prison?
He looked brutal. Yeah.
Interesting.
Bottom
is Andrew Tate a fighter?
Yes, I think he did. Like, martial arts and stuff.
Full disclosure, I don't exactly know who Andrew Tate is. I've seen a lot of jokes about him.
He fought somebody, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that's how he kind of not like got started, but like was like him and his brother, I think, fought like they did. I know he's at least trained and stuff, like he does jiu-jitsu or something.
Speaking of like
maybe
famous people just like fighting, I saw a video and like I was deep in TikTok and I run across Logan Paul, sorry. Sorry, I get them confused. Logan Paul, this guy like walks up to Logan Paul's house and he's like, "Hey, I'll fight you." And Logan Paul's like, "Okay, what if I win?" And he's like, "You can have my girlfriend." And then they get in the ring and like Logan Paul just like destroys this guy. Like, yeah. And I was like, this has to be staged.
Did he get his girlfriend?
Well, Logan was like, "You can keep your girlfriend." And I'm like, dude, this is the like. Why did I just spend 5 minutes watching this stupid video?
Yeah, you just got sucked into their YouTube channels. What happened?
Yeah. You probably just gave Logan Paul like $5 revenue.
Yeah.
Which one's a pretty good fighter? One of them's a pretty good.
Jake's the better fighter.
Okay.
The boxer.
Yeah, boxer, whatever.
I think he's actually better than like I think the people in the boxing world say he's actually a lot better than like people give him credit for. But I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely will not pay for that fight, but I'm with you. I'll probably try to illegally stream it. Depends on what I'm doing that night.
Yeah, no, I mean,
maybe they should do it on like a Wednesday night. Like I'm way more likely to watch it on a Wednesday night. Saturday, probably not.
I want to see him fight like an actual fighter.
Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk?
No.
Oh, I was like, they'll die.
Jake Paul. Dude, don't you hate on the Nogi Master?
I mean, I'll be down for watching one of them die. For just being honest, eat the rich, baby.
Yeah, we should. Ooh, that'd be a cool.
Can
TV.
they die?
You got to fight for like your money. Like the other one goes totally broke. You got nothing. Like you fight for the other ones. Like
oh yeah, like bootstrap it up.
Tesla and SpaceX if he wins.
I like that idea.
Let's get like Warren Buffett and like some other old dude in the ring. And
Warren Buffett is one punch away from.
Yeah, I think this is the new way to settle disputes now too. You can't sue each other anymore. We're getting in the ring.
Warren Buffett.
We're going back to dueling. We're going back to dueling. That's what this is all going full circle.
Out.
I'm down. I think that's how every world conflict should be resolved. Get Putin and Biden in a ring.
I do. You know the movie Troy, where they get their best fighter out there. I do think that's how all world wars disputes should be settled. You don't get to send millions of people to die.
Also in Shrek, they do it in Shrek.
Which one?
The first one. Don't they like? Isn't he like in a ring?
No, he enters a competition. But no, that's not like send your best fighter type deal. No.
Oh, okay. Well,
you know Troy with Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
I know Shrek. That's why you had me questioning. I know Shrek. Love that movie. You know in Troy when they all the armies line up and then the kings meet and they agree like, all right, well, pick your best fighter. Whoever wins, it's over.
Oh, they do it in Thor too. No.
Oh, okay.
Thor Ragnarok. Where they have him and Hulk fight, and he's like, he's a friend from work.
I believe you. I don't think I've seen that one. Then
really? I heard that one was that the bad one that like everyone didn't like, or no, that was the new one that was like God of Thunder or something that they thought.
Oh, I love that movie.
Really?
I thought it was so good. Yeah.
I don't trust that one's not
great.
I also talked for like the first 3 minutes of it because I didn't know it was starting because it's like that desert scene, and it just looked like a preview to me.
No, Ragnarok's definitely the best Thor, in my opinion. And
I think we should
my
do
opinion
Fortnite.
is 100% fact. So.
Do like Fortnite scrims or something for world conflict.
Oh, I would love that. That'd be cool.
I prefer watching these old brittle white dudes beat the shit out of each other in the worst way, physically.
Dude, I bet it's the worst fight ever.
Oh, I bet it's so bad. I can't. All right, you guys have talked me into it. I'm watching.
Which one?
You just sold a pay-per-view. Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, I mean,
how did that come about? What's the story?
Dude, I don't know. Rich people do the stupidest stuff. They literally, I mean, like I'm sure they were just like, "I'll fight you," or Musk is kind of a troll, so I'm sure like he saw Zuck won like a jiu-jitsu tournament and probably thought he was soft and was like, "Dude, let's go."
God, he don't want none of that Nogi Master. That's an awesome name.
Division 1 Nogi Master, dude. That's like, you can get a Mars, but you can't be the Division 1 Nogi Master.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, guys, great episode as always. Anything else?
We have one more friend, don't we? We got to tell you about.
We do. Yes. Let me
then we're good. Then we'll send you on your way.
Yeah, if I can find it, that'd be great. Yep. Check out our good friends at Knoxville Tours. They have tours you don't want to miss. If you give them a call today at 865-688-6232 and mention More Important Issues, you'll get an exclusive offer on their 5-day MLB tour. The offer will include 4 nights in Cincinnati and Chicago. That will include 3 baseball game tickets, stadium tours, a city tour, and much more. Give them a call today at 865-688-6232 for more details on their August 4th through 8th motor coach tour. You get to see Cincinnati. You get to see Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox. So plenty of stadiums and places that you don't have to drive to. So that's awesome.
Unlimited designated driver, dude.
Exactly.
And you get to see the Yankees.
Yeah.
Who just pitched a
And
perfect game.
or the Braves.
And the Braves.
And
I just
the
mentioned the
Nationals.
Yankees because they just had the perfect game the other night. But all right, man, you just,
Yeah, you can see.
you don't try to
whoever
get people hype on that. I don't know what to tell you. I guess the chances of them pitching another perfect game are impossible, but maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
You can't spell impossible without possible. That's all I'm saying.
All right. You heard it here. Guys, thanks again. Have a great Friday, great weekend. We'll be back Sunday. We've got some special guests. It's a surprise. I'm not going to actually tell you this time. I usually do, but I'm not. See you then. Love you guys. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.